OIRA, pronounced OIRA, is Washington speak for a little office with a big impact. The White House Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs. OIRA was created in 1980 by the Paperwork Reduction Act. Yes, there is such a thing. Under the Paperwork Reduction Act, no federal agency is allowed to collect information from the American people or to make you fill out a form unless OIRA allows it to do so. In 1981, President Ronald Reagan gave OIRA an even more important role, which is to oversee federal regulation. By executive order, President Reagan also said, in a controversial and crucial provision, that regulatory action shall not be undertaken unless the potential benefits to society for the regulation outweigh the potential costs to society. He charged OIRA with responsibility for ensuring compliance with that edict. In that very year, I happened to be working as a young lawyer in the Department of Justice. By a stroke of luck, I was heavily involved in the legal work that established what has turned out to be OIRA's enduring role. I was even able to participate in the drafting of the all-important cost-benefit provision. For nearly 3 decades, heading OIRA had been my dream job. From 2009 to 2012, I ended up as administrator of OIRA. In that position, I helped to oversee the issuance of nearly 2,000 rules from federal agencies. Under President Obama's direction, I promoted simplification, including the use of plain language, reductions in red tape, readable summaries of complex rules, and the elimination of costly, unjustified requirements. I argued in favor of the use of nudges, simple, low-cost, freedom-preserving approaches drawing directly from behavioral economics that promise to save money, to improve people's health, and to lengthen their lives. Also, under President Obama's direction, I promoted a disciplined emphasis on costs and benefits, in an effort to ensure that the actions of government are based on facts and evidence, not intuitions, anecdotes, dogmas, or the views of powerful interest groups. In this book, I describe the large-scale transformation in American government that took place while I was OIRA administrator. I explore initiatives designed to increase simplicity, some now in effect, others on the horizon, still others for the distant future. As we will see, initiatives of this kind can be used not only by governments all over the world, but by countless private organizations as well, including businesses, large and small, and indeed by all of us in our daily lives. Each of us can benefit from simplicity, and all of us can make things simpler. The cockpit. The OIRA administrator is often described as the nation's regulatory czar. That is a wild overstatement. The president leads the executive branch, and the United States has no czars, really. But the term does give a clue to the influence and range of the office. OIRA is the cockpit of the regulatory state. The office oversees federal regulations involving clean air and water, food safety, financial stability, national security, health care, energy, agriculture, workplace safety, sex and race discrimination, highway safety, immigration, education, crime, disability rights, and much more. As a general rule, no significant rule can be issued by any of the nation's cabinet departments, including the Department of Transportation, the Department of Treasury, the Department of State, and the Environmental Protection Agency, unless OIRA says so. Of course, OIRA does not work on its own. On the contrary, the OIRA administrator works for the president.